Well, here we are again, and as you can see, the Pico case up here is now full. I went ahead and got, I didn't want to spend a lot of time scratching my head, puzzling out what to get to fill the last 14 HP. So I just looked for something that would be cheap and take up the space and also be kind of useful. I settled on this one here, the Division 6 Morpheum, which I got a really good deal on. Apparently it's out of production now. All it is it's a VCA, and then up here there's some like ring modulation, wave folding type of business that happens. I couldn't work that in. Well, I didn't include Morpheum in this patch because the output from the Synthesis Technologies E950 circuit bent VCO, it's kind of quiet for modular, and I was gonna use the Morpheum to sort of strangify the output or from the circuit bent VCO to make it even weirder, but I ended up using warps for that instead because warps can give a volume boost, and the Morpheum VCA apparently doesn't. I couldn't get it to go any louder than the original input. Anyway, this other module right here is the Evaton Technologies CLX. It's got a cute little space monkey on it. Anyway, what this does, it's just two independently running square wave clocks, and you can set them at two different speeds. The output of the two clocks is right here, and then underneath there are two logic outputs that derive a signal from the interference patterns between these two clocks. One's a logical and one's an exclusive not or, and those two together give you some very interesting combinations. I like the CLX. It's a pretty cool module. The only thing about it that bothers me is that the knobs are kind of squishy. I don't know if you can see that. They wiggle because they're not panel mounted. They're just circuit board mounted and then stuck through the holes and had these big caps put on them. So they feel a little squishy. They feel kind of fragile. But other than that, I thought this would be a cool toy, but it's turning out to be way more interesting than even I anticipated. Anyway, let's hear some of this patch. I have T-Kick being driven directly from channel A of the CLX. And over here, the Chaos NAND is going through this WMD SSF multi-mode filter that is getting a ping input from channel B of CLX. So there they are, running at two different totally independent speeds. Now down here I'm using, clock divider, 4MS quad clock, and the Bastel Little Nerd to derive more triggers from the logic outputs. Let's see, hat is being triggered directly by the XNOR output, so that's coming from here, the XNOR output on CLX. And then I've got a noise source from Noise Square going through Cinnamon and then being VCA'd by mutable streams, and that's triggered from these other tempos that are derived from the AND output, which is going in. Yes, that's triggered by the AND output. And I have an LFO modulating the tone of that. Now next, Tonic is sequencing the oscillator of the life forms over here, and it's being fed with the clock divider from that's being fed by A of the CLX, so I have several tempos derived from that, and one of them is pushing that sequence. And I've got another couple of, there's a clock divider on the little nerd, which is clocking my random generator. That's feeding several things, and a couple of those triggers, well, one of those triggers from over here and one of the randoms from over here are influencing the Traugotronic M669, and it's doing that. And to complete the chaos duet, the E950 is going through warps, being ring modulated by warps' internal oscillator, pitch controlled by one of the random outputs, and then that's going into the DSP for some echo.